for Financial Focus. Steve Budin, our financial analyst, is here in studio to talk to us about a number of topics. Obviously, we've been watching the stadium stuff, and we've been talking to you about that for a long time now, right?
We have.
And so we've already discussed that. So we're going to move on to some other topics, and one of them is a huge deal when it comes to Social Security, how much we're going to get for that change of cost of living.
Or how little.
How little.
Actually.
Yeah, actually how little. When you told me the number, I'm like, that's it?
I know, this is actually one of the smallest increases since they've been doing what's called COLAs, cost of living adjustments. And basically what the government does is they take a inflation calculator and they figure out how much does it cost for these goods, and they'll raise the Social Security checks by that amount, so nobody's checks fall behind due to inflation over time. Well, the problem is there's not really much inflation that is at least publicized, so you're going to be getting way less than 1%. They haven't finalized it yet, but we're guessing between 0.2 and 0.4% in Social Security increases.
You know what, Steve, we're going to take a break. We're going to go out to this live picture at UNLV. Governor Sandoval getting ready to sign 2 bills that will approve NFL stadium funding. Let's watch this live. Right now, the 2 bills, big moment, actually making history. This is something that will move on. It's not a done deal. There he is. He looks very happy. Still, I should say, officials and from the Raiders are still need to discuss this, decide if the Raiders will come to Las Vegas. But right now, Governor Sandoval approving the funding. We had, special session obviously last week in Carson City, and it's moved along. And this is the final moment. This is what it comes down to right now. So, I mean, it could change things. We're getting the NHL. If we get this, the NFL, it's going to change everything about Las Vegas. I mean, we're going to have 2 professional sports teams here. It's huge.
Yeah.
Just the last few minutes, we did just hear Governor Sandoval talking about the economic impact, all the jobs that this is going to be bringing to the city once this is a done deal. And he did also just say this is a perfect place for the Las Vegas Raiders. So, of course, I think it has a nice ring to it. But some people, it's still up in the air. But there it is. He did sign those bills. So one step closer.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when it comes to tourism here, when it comes to folks that live here, though, we've seen both sides of this. Some people frustrated, going, hey, I'm going to have to pay for this. Others going, well, it's okay. It's, in the end, once we get the team in, it's going to bring in more tourism, and we're going to make more money, and everything's going to be fine. And I know you probably get a lot of people that come up to you, Steve, and with an earful when they want to talk money.
Yeah, well,
about how this is going to affect us.
We've talked about this in the past, where they do these studies to see what the economic impact of these stadiums will be, and they're mixed. They definitely are mixed. But the one thing that Vegas does have, I think, in its favor is that we are a tourist destination. So if you take your traditional cities that basically you're cannibalizing one industry. So let's say you're in another city, instead of going to the movies, you might go to a football game.
Sure.
But in Vegas, people are coming in from all over the world, so you're not taking $1 and taking it out of a movie theater and bringing it into a stadium. So a lot of those economic studies, and that's what makes those studies so hard, because it's very tough for Vegas to compare themselves to anybody else. So only time will tell if the economic impact is strong enough, but as a football fan, I'm loving it.
A lot of people are. I know I've heard a lot of positive things, but like I said, there's been some negative too, going, hey, what about our education system? Let's throw money towards that. What about other things that they feel are a priority in the state of Nevada? So obviously, there's both sides of this, and again, this is not a done deal just yet. This will then, it needs to continue on with the discussion if they want to bring the Raiders here for real, I should say, and then from there, we'll see what happens. But right now, as far as it's considered with the funding, it's all set to go because he just signed those 2 bills. So pretty historic moment.
Just got to get on the NFL owners to approve it.
That's right. I know we had 2 topics to talk about still, but we'll talk about those next week. Still very timely. And so we're going to take a break, and we'll be back after this.